Hello folks, how's it going? So One Piece, the anime, is back on track in 2021. Obviously we didn't get an episode last week. We did get One Piece 1000, which was a historic moment. This episode was a historic moment for a plethora of reasons. Episodes like this, it brings out the greatness, the best in One Piece. Obviously we ended Wano at 2, the last time we was in the anime. So here's the interlude, the intermission between Wano Act 2 and Act 3 with the world building aspect of One Piece, which is something I fully enjoy when it comes to One Piece. And I remember when this came out in the manga, I labeled this as one of the best chapters of 2019 by leaps and bounds. And when you see what's going down, it all ties in for what happened the last time we had a world building episode, where we found out after Wano Act 1, we found out that number one, the biggest part was finding out Blackbeard's bounty. So that was the highest bounty we've seen thus far until next week. So, spoiler. And we also found out that, according to Mihawk, something went down at the Reverie that involved the Shichibukai. Now, even if you're One Piece anime only, I think you can kind of put two and two together and figure out what that was. And that was in this episode. So it all ties in. Plus, we also found out in the episode, Blackbeard mentioned the admirals Fujitora and Greenbow clashed with the commanders of the Revolutionary Army. Considering what we found in this episode, I think we can kind of guess what happened. Again, this episode was made for One Piece theories. For those who like to make One Piece theories, this chapter was tailor-made for you, and this was the episode 957, and I have to say, one of the best episodes so far, even though the year's just begun. But man, I don't know if it's because of the new animation that they used, added with the fact that it's world building. But yeah, there's a lot to digest when it comes to this episode that was tied in from the last time we went to the world building scene of One Piece. So I just thought that was kind of cool. Speaking of the admirals, it starts off with Admiral Fujitora, and we get a recap of what he said at Dressrosa to Doflamingo, which started all this, which pretty much he wanted to abolish the Shichibukai system. He also brought up a huge point about the Yonko, about the pirates, and so I guess he got what he wanted with back at the Reverie at Marijoa. Then we get one of the big main tragedies of what went down, one of the big topics that went down. So confusion broke out. So we go to Rigo Kingdom at Fishman Island. So King Neptune and Shirahoshi, they get escorted back to Fishman Island by Garb. But before he leaves, obviously, there's a brief moment about the differences of each country. So it brings out bloodshed. There wasn't too much bloodshed. However, as Garb points out to Shirahoshi, something messed up went down at the Reverie involving the Alabastan Kingdom. And immediately, Shirahoshi thinks about Vivi. Now, it's not specifically stated, but you can kind of put two and two together. I personally think Cobra's dead or something happened to him, considering what we saw with the Gorosei. The last time we saw them, they did not want Marijoa. They didn't want anything to do with the world noble, so they didn't like that. So something obviously went down. It could be something to do with Vivi being captured. We don't know yet. That's the first main tragedy of the episode, kind of teased. And obviously with Shirahoshi, and I do like. It's interesting because we go to them first because they have less to travel, because literally Fishman Island is right below Marijoa. Kind of like how that starts. Then we go over to pretty much Morgan's news, and he's trying to print out what went down at the Reverie. We also found out this took place days before Garb escorted Shirahoshi and Neptune back to Ryoga Kingdom. So I just want to point that out. So this happened before with Morgan's news, and the last time we saw him, it was obviously spewing that propaganda about Luffy being the fifth Yonko, and obviously get the scoop. He was there to see. He pretty much stated the Big Mama to be defeated by Luffy, even though that wasn't true. But we know what Morgan's is about. So Morgan's was going to put something out, what happened at the Reverie, and for whatever reason, a member of Cypher Pol infiltrated Morgan's news. And they wanted to bribe Morgan's not to let this go public. Whatever it was, the world government did not want Morgan's news to spew out. They wanted to shut up Morgan's news. So they said they first put a bribe to put some money to it, so don't spew that shit out. So he's going to spew it out. Then they had someone infiltrate, pull a gun on him. But I have to give credit to Morgan's News, and I think they added a little more effects than they needed to. But it just shows Morgan's can take care of himself apparently. So he KOs this member for Cypher Paul, a father. They dip, and before we cut away, they get a call from Wapple from Drunk Kingdom, and apparently he spewed on some information that shot the hell out of Morgan's News. So I'm guessing whatever that was, it tied into what we found out later on in this episode. Wondering what that was, because first off, what was the other bit of information that Cypher Paul did not want Morgan's News to get out? That's first thing. Secondly, we go over all parts of the world where we see the newspapers. So I thought that was very interesting. And this is the first case where you can see a real shift in the tone of the episode, where it goes from super jubilous because of what the announcement, but you see the certain ramifications of other things that went down at the Reverie. Primarily, when we go all over it, there's one kingdom that looked like Alabaster. I don't think it was, but you do see a lot of people crying, so I'm wondering where that was. But then we go over to very familiar characters. We go over to the Revolutionary Army, and this is where we get the second biggest tragedy episode, apparently. So something bad's happened to Sabo, because you see first that Ivankov is freaking out. You got Bello Belly, you got Koala. Obviously, they're freaking out. They're shot by this. But what happened to Sabo, it kind of paints the picture that he's dead. I don't think so, but it looks bad, because look at that face of Dragon. When's the last time you've seen Dragon that concerned about anything? But then he pretty much gets it together, and it's like, this could be bullshit. So we have to perceive this with caution. But Koala's crying. Whatever happened to Sabo is bad, and it's even backed up further. But we go to Makino, where she's close to the bar. She's just crying. She's leaving the baby unattended, which could be Shanks' baby, by the way. But yeah, that just shows you how bad it is. So there could be a cop. In her mind, Sabo could be dead. We also got to see Dan Dan, which is emotional in itself. They just learned about Sabo being alive. Now they're hearing about this, possibly with Sabo being dead. What else could it be that haven't making this type of reaction? That were bad enough. Like, just to stir the pot, you have Blackbeard, Marshall D. Cheech going, zee ha 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 ha. So looks like we're going to get to it before the Navy get to it first. So what that means, I don't know. So there's a lot of speculation of what Blackbeard's going to do from this point forth. Is he going to go after Sabo and the Marimaro no Mi? Because we know Jesus Burgess wanted that. And we know that the last time we saw Blackbeard, Shiryu got Absalom's devil fruit. So that's not good if Blackbeard's on the move. If that's what he's after, that's bad. So it just paints a bad picture. We really need to know what went down at the Reverie with the... First off, there's more than just Sabo there. We had other members of the Revolutionary Army commanders that go up against Green Bull and Fujitora. We actually go back to Ebisu Town, because we see ex-Drake, and he's having a conversation with Kobe, and this is one of the big reveals that's going to lead into possibly what could happen at the end of Wano. So we have ex-Drake on the Dendamushi to Kobe, and we find out that both members are SWORD, the special organization within the Marines that actually acting out on their own. So there's other members as well. I'm pretty sure I guarantee either Fujitora or Aokiji, they have to be members of SWORD as well. I'm pretty sure Smoker is too. Default, that means Tashigi is as well. But that would make the most sense. But X-Drake is learning what happens on the outside of Wano with what's going on with the Shichibukai system. And on the inside, X-Drake is giving this information to Kobe, and you notice what was going on here. Like, even with Kobe on the Marine ship, he's still trying to keep hidden from the rest of the Marines. So, like I said, it's a secret organization within the Marines that's acting out on their own. As soon as X-Drake brings the whole stuff about how Big Mom is on Wano, and how she and Kaido used to be at each other's throats, but now that's changed because now they formed a line. How the hell did X Drake learn about that? Because he wasn't on Onigashima to listen to this. So how the hell did that happen? Did Kaido just make that public knowledge to the people outside of Onigashima? So that's something that needs to be addressed. Or maybe X Drake has close sources within. I don't know, but that information gets out to Kobe. He's freaking out. He's also freaking out about the fact X Drake points out that apparently members of Cypher Pole came to Wano to negotiate with Orochi. We know that. We saw that. Orochi wanted Vegapunk on Wano. I don't know if that's ever going to be addressed, but I hope so. And X Drake just points this out: the fact that a member of Cypher Pole is infiltrated in Wano is negotiating with the pirates in the form of Kaido. Yeah, that's bad news. That's bad enough. But then we go to what's really going now, which has people buzzing, but also people freaking out because we have a loss of one of the three great powers within the world government. Because people are getting public knowledge of the abolishment of the Shichibukai system. People are happy about this because as much protection as it serves the world government, they also done some fucked up shit. As the narrative highlights the purpose of the three great powers, the Shichibukais of what they've done, some of them, not all of them. Obviously, the point painting out the Shichibukais in the bad light. So if people hate pirates already, this is just going to fuel the fire, which we know there's honorable Shichibukais. We know Jinbei because of what Crocodile's done, Doflamingo's done, Blackbeard's done. Even, I mean, to some extent, even you can throw in Moria and Boa Hancock to some extent, what they've done. They've pretty much just acted out on the road. They're just going out, doing whatever the fuck they wanted. Look at Dressrosa and the State Alabasta are in because of Crocodile and Doflamingo. Both of them have connections with both of them getting taken down by Luffy. So yeah, that just paints the bad picture of why the Shichibukai system could not be trusted. And obviously, Fujitora gets what he wants. But as bad, this is going to cause a shitstorm. I'm telling you right now, for two main reasons. Number one, they're pirates. They're pretty much they don't have to listen to the world government anymore. So if they technically that duration of they can attack the world government as a unit if they choose to, because I think this is going to cause an alliance for sure. Also, because the warlord system is no longer in effect, so this also has the admirals going after the warlords, the Shichibukai system. You have like Kobe saying he's going after Boa Hancock. I don't know how well that's going to work out for him. But we also remember, I'm curious where Fujitora is going to go. Also, so because I doubt Kobe can handle Boa Hancock by himself, as strong as Kobe's gotten. No. The most surprising one to me is like Mihawk. They're going after Mihawk, right? He's pulling out his sword, like he's ready for this. He's not worried about this in the slightest. Like I'm like, who's the idiots that thought to send just average vice admirals or marines going after just fodder marines going after Mihawk? You better have an admiral or two going after Hawkeye. Like that's a mistake. So there's a sense of danger. You got the whole end of the Shichibukai system. We even see Weevil with he's being surrounded, but that's not a problem because he's about to clean house. So like I said, this could easily cause an alliance, not just with the warlords teaming up, but also because certain members of the warlords are allies of Luffy. Primarily speaking, Hawkeye, Mihawk, and Boa Hancock. Mihawk obviously trained Zoro during the time skip. Also, he's the goal of Zoro to surpass. So I can totally see him allying with the Straw Hats. So this sets the stage of what's going to happen after Wano. But it also could set the stage of what could happen during Wano, because now the reason why Boa Hancock couldn't go with Luffy anymore is because she was on Amazon Lily as a Shichibukai, but that's changed now because that's no longer the case. And there's women freaking out, Amazon's freaking out over this. Boa Hancock isn't concerned, and I love that. Like she's confident. Just why do you think they hired us to be Shichibukai in the first place? Like we're strong enough. We're strong. So So we're about to see some bodies fly in the Marines. Unless they send admirals going after the likes of Boa Hancock and Mihawk, they're going to get bodied hard. So, but going back to my point, this is going to cause a shitstorm for the world government, because now you have the possibility of the likes of Boa Hancock and Mihawk allying with Luffy, and I could definitely see someone like Buggy, who I thought it was kind of cool first, like they were hyping up because he was ready to fight back against the Marines. Like, oh, I'm getting caught up in this because of Doflamingo and what Crocodile did. But there's one point that made him look like pretty honorable. It's like he was willing to fight back, but then obviously by the end, it just paints him out to be a coward. Like, oh, I need you to help me to get away from these guys. But that ties into I think he's going to seek the protection of somebody, because remember what Law said back at Punk Hazard. The way to survive in the new world is you either ally with a Yonko, or you try to work under them, or you try and take a Yonko out. I think that's something that Buggy can do, and because of the connection, I can definitely see, as much as he probably hates Shanks, he's probably going to have to seek the help of Shanks, because he's probably the only one who can help him right now. I don't see Kaido, Blackbeard, or Big Mom looking to lift a finger to help Buggy, but just the fact that that's potentially what it could tease, I could definitely see something like that. So yeah, so this episode was great. It went all over the place. It covers a lot and it foreshadows a lot without actually giving you too much. So I love that. Obviously, the big question mark is what happened to Vivi, what happened to Cobra, and what happened to Sabo. I'm not too worried about the Warlords yet, especially if they send. No offense to any Kobe fans, but if you think he's taking out Boa Hancock, like, no. Like I said, unless you send an admiral or two, yeah, it's not going to work out for you. But and the other big surprise is the fact we got Sword revealed, and we have one member of Sword on Wano, and we also have a member of Kobe making her way to Amazon Lily. But I'm curious what the Revolutionary Army are going to do now that something bad's happened to Sabo. Yeah, it doesn't look good, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't mean Sabo is dead, because they definitely will not off-screen that. So, and we also have other members of the commanders of the Revolutionary Armies, and we don't have no idea what happened to them either. Next episode is going to be on a next level, considering the fact, speaking of Yonko, we're going to learn a lot more about the Yonko next episode. So I can't wait for that. Let me know what you guys thought down below. I thought it was a great episode, great way to start the One Piece anime in 2021. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Like the review if you did. Hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Helps out the channel. Subscribe to One Piece. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.